to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
We are here today at Five Rivers Bike Shop, located on West Main Street here in Morristown. This is Tony. He is the owner of Five Rivers Bike Shop.
Thanks,
so, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Glad that you came on the show with us.
Absolutely.
What interested you in opening a bike shop?
So really, I've always been a part of bike shops. When even before I joined the Army back in 1987, I was working at a bike shop or racing for a bicycle shop. And it's just always been a part of me. I didn't have a car till I got in the Army. So when I was working for the school system the past 3 years, it gave me the opportunity to get back into bicycles. And with that, it just was overwhelming at home. And I had a couple of buddies that one of them soon to be a partner here that kind of were kicking me in the side saying, "Hey, Tony, you need to open a shop." Because I'm a fairly good wrench turner. And I thought, maybe we could do this. And my wife talked to me about it. And she said, this is something you could probably do. And we sat here in June of last year and we talked about the vision for a bicycle shop in the Five Rivers community. And that vision that I had was a community bike shop. One that we could service the bicycles that you can buy at your local Walmart, bikes that you can buy at a bicycle shop, but be able to service everybody's needs. And we were able to do that. That's how we set the shop up. We started with about 28 used bikes. And since August of last year, we've grown, just almost outgrown this place. But we won't leave. We did add a building out back because we're fortunate for our customers that have trusted us to work with their bicycles and to come in and shop with us, be a community bike shop. And so when we just all talked about it, it just seemed like the right thing to do. Being retired out of the military gave me a little bit of lateral movement there to do some things that wouldn't tie me down too much, but it gave me an opportunity to see if it could work.
Okay, good deal. All right, so you mentioned repairing, and of course we're standing in your showroom.
Absolutely.
So you sell bikes.
Yes, we do.
And you sell accessories.
Absolutely.
So talk to us a little bit about what all you carry here.
Okay, so we carry Cannondale, Salsa, Surly bikes, Diamondback bikes. So we have all those brands that we can bring to the community through our shop. We have iZip in our electric bikes. We have Diamondback electric bikes. We have, if you growing up, you remember the little red wagons. Okay, so Radio Flyer, they now make an e-bike. So we have one of their bikes in stock, and we're now an Aviton dealer. So we'll have some of those bikes coming in. But we have bicycles for sale. We have every kind you can think of. Little kids bikes. We have mountain bikes. We have road bikes. We have gravel bikes. We have electric bikes. We have all accessories in line to go along with it, just to help people, have a good helmet to wear, have a set of gloves, have mirrors. Right? And just things, water bottles, things that they need, lubricants, tools, all the things they need just to be able to function on a creeper trail ride, right? Just right up the road, or Twitchy Trail, or Greenways in Knoxville. We want them just to be prepared and have a good, safe bike to ride.
All right, good deal. So I know that we have been talking before we went live on here.
Yeah.
And you were talking about like servicing the bikes, doing repairs and stuff.
Absolutely.
How long do you normally take once somebody brings you their bike? Kind of like, what's the turn time on that?
So that's a great question. So obviously, since we opened in August, I was the main guy, right? It's inventory, it's working on bikes, it's the whole 9 yards. It's figuring out where everything's going to go.
It's like being a realtor.
Absolutely. I've had a lot of help from my family and friends, and I had a lot of help along the way. But typically, right now, we're about a week to 10 days out. Okay. We've been as far as 3 weeks out, and because we've been that busy. And I think two things have happened in our community. I think people are now have a place to get their bikes worked on, where they don't have to drive 45 minutes to an hour. And then also they're just able to find a place to get back into riding. And I hope that we've provided that platform for people. In fact, we have 4 groups of people that ride on pavement. We call them road people, right? And we had 16 riders leave out here last night at 6:45, and we rode down through Walter State. We actually had 2 groups break off. So, that wasn't happening before. And I think just having a platform for people just to come and hang out and meet other people and connect, as you do in the realty department, right? So just being able to connect with people has really helped bring people out and get some exercise, which is low impact to your knees, and good cardio, and get to, a beautiful area to ride in. So, yeah, absolutely.
So you're not a one-man show anymore. You do have help here. Right?
I do. I sure do. And so our service department, right? Pan right over there. This is Hayden. Okay, we'll say something a little bit about Hayden. Hayden is on the cycling team at Walter State Community College. Most people don't know that they have a cycling team now. And he just finished at Clemson University the other day racing. And he's back home. They're getting ready to start their mountain bike season. So Hayden's a college student at Water State out of Bean Station, Tennessee. So I met Hayden at the ice cream shop in Bean Station. So,
that's a good place to be.
So it's a good place to be. So we're glad to have him on board. And there's been so many people that have helped us just kind of move this thing along. And I don't think you can do it as one person. And we're just, we're blessed, we're thankful. And we just can't believe how much the community's reached out and helped us out. Because you could easily drive somewhere else to get your bikes. We have people, they just sold a mountain bike, e-bike the other night. And they came from Seymour, Tennessee, just to our shop to do business. We have a preacher out of Elizabeth, and they came down to buy city bikes for he and his wife. And they found us on the map. They liked the way the shop looked on social media, and checking us out on Instagram and Facebook, of course, at FiveRiversBikeShop.com and so forth. And it was just great. So we're thankful. But, yeah.
All right, good deal. So I'm looking over here. You have a board. I would have never thought about getting a tune-up for a bike. Of course, I'm not a regular bike rider. So
Absolutely.
You don't just have to have a repair to be done, but y'all do tune-ups on them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So people will say, you know what? I think I'm going to get back into bike riding. So bring your bike by the shop. What we do is we just kind of assess what's going on with it and give you a good idea of what it probably costs you to get it moving. And most of the time, and a lot of times these bikes have meanings. Maybe your husband got it for you, your wife got it for you, or it's a Christmas present. And you want to keep it. Even though it's outdated or whatever, we do that for you. And but we tell you up front, kind of give you an idea of what it will cost. But even this bike right here, the new Diamondback e-bike, for example, 30 days down the road, it's going to need a service because it has parts on it that are mechanical and they actually stretch, and you want to get adjustment. And we do that for free for people to buy the bikes from us. But bikes over time, they age. The tires, they dry rot and different things. And we're real good about going through with bikes completely. And we have a lot of training going on every day. Hayden's training every day. And I tell you, as a shop guy, I'm training every day. So, it's just always fun to try to figure things out. And when you take your bike to the Tweetsie Trail in Johnson City, right up Elizabethan, it's going to go. And you're going to have any problems. And that's kind of how we try to put our bikes back out to you. And
so it's kind of like with taking your car for regular maintenance and oil change, and your brakes changed.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just talked about a bike he's working on there a minute ago. He said you want to change the brakes. Look at the brakes. Brakes are okay for this particular job. But yeah, absolutely you have to, because you don't want to get out on, like I did one time on mile 9 of the Creeper Trail going up, to White Top and blow a tire. So, and of course I had the stuff there to fix it, but you try not to do those things. And then of course you had to come back down too. But we got lucky on that ride, but those happen. And all we can do is kind of set you up, make sure you have a spare tube, make sure you have some CO2 cartridges to pump your tire back up. Make sure you have a couple tire levers, and that stuff's not real expensive to have with you versus your trip, going downhill real quick, because you get a flat tire on mile 9 and you didn't bring anything with you,
right.
And nobody knows where you're at on the Creeper Trail. So,
I can imagine.
Absolutely.
All right. So, what are your days and your hours of operation here?
Okay, so days and hours. So days, let's think. So we're closed Sundays and Mondays. Tuesday through Friday, we're here 10 to 5. Saturday 10 to 6, and then we do group rides on Tuesday night. So we typically leave around 6, meet at 6:30, leave about 6:45, and ride through the community. We have 4 ride groups. If you're interested, hook up with us on social media, and we'll kind of fill you in on the categories of folks riders you might fall into. And we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you just come by, check out the shop.
All right, good deal. All right, is there anything else about your shop you want to share with people?
Hey, we're here for the community. I'm just telling you, there's no other bike shop in town, luckily. But I'll tell you, we're all about the community and anything we can do to help promote cycling. We're on a tight budget, of course, because we just opened up. So, sponsoring different things and events, we're kind of holding back. We're trying to get the inventory in. But we just want you to know we're here to help you, and just tell your friends about us. And we're not paying a lot of money for advertising, and we're thankful for folks like yourself that pick us, to talk about on a video, and so just come see us.
All right. Okay, so our last question for you is one that we ask everybody that comes on with us. And that would be, if you could go back in time and give your 20-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be?
So, 20 years old, I was in the military. And, again, I worked at bike shops up to that point. And I would just say, focus on your education. Even today, I know there's a lot of online stuff you can do to get an education. Hey, so be it. Get an education. That's one thing. Going through all the leadership academies through the military taught me a lot. I have some college, but it'd be kind of cool to show my kids they actually had a degree. one's an RN now, one's a police officer. They've done all. My wife's educated. And I'm the guy that's running a bike shop. So, but I will tell you, education would be the thing I would have done instead of going out and having a good time, enjoying life at a young private's age in the Army. So, just time to get your education. I think that's what I would do.
Well, and I told you this before, serving in the military is definitely a different sort of education.
Absolutely.
We do appreciate your service.
We call it School of Hard Knocks.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Tony. We appreciate
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks
and
so
we're
much.
going to talk about the real estate market and mortgages. So if you want to,
I'm going to pull you over there. Thank you all.
all right, Kim. Where are we at on mortgages this week?
We're still in the sixes, and I know you sat in on a presentation that Union Home had, I guess, back in April. And again, historically, sixes are not bad.
Right.
And also, there's the people who say, hey, I'm going to wait for rates to come down, and then there's the people who say, hey, I know you said all the time, well, I think house prices are going to drop. But, in that presentation as well, they talked about inventory being an issue. So obviously, supply and demand is not going to bring prices down much, So, but still in the sixes, 30-year, THDA has 5.5. Qualify for the first time home buyer loan. So we're staying pretty busy.
Well, good. Good. Well, we are getting a little more inventory coming on this week. I've noticed several new listings, but I say this every time we do a market report. We have less than 1 month's supply of homes on the market. And what that means is if nobody else listed their house between now and June the 10th, we do not have any homes to sell. Okay? And a large part of our inventory right now are the new construction homes, either through Carlisle, D.R. Horton, whoever it may be. So those are options out there, pretty much I think from like the 250 up to 330 range. They do have quite a selection of inventory available now. They've got new developments going out, so pretty much any part of town that you want to live in, I think they've got a development out there now. So that's something to look at as well if you're trying to find a home. But we're hoping, if interest rates do start edging down some, that more people will want to put their home on the market and make a move. When 95% of the country has an interest rate below 5%, it makes it hard for somebody to want to sell, especially if they're going to have to move up and take out a mortgage on their new home. So that's kind of where we're at. But anyway, anything else we need to know? Any changes in mortgage programs or?
Not at the moment.
All right. I know that changes all the time.
All the time.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
And be sure to come by and check out Five Rivers Bike Shop here on Main Street.
Great job.